Hi, today we're going to talk about abandoned carts. And this is actually one of my favorite metrics to look at because honestly, it's one of the easiest to improve upon. There are some really clear reasons why people abandon carts, and there are some really simple things we can do to help recover them. First, before we jump into how do we customize that abandoned cart email, which is the most important part of this process, let's look at an analytics panel so you can understand how abandoned carts work. And to do that, I'm going to flip over to one of my own customers' sites. Are going to hide all of their information so we can't actually see who they are, but they've granted me permission to show you just because it's a good example of the abandoned cart workflow. So let's do that first. Okay, we're in the analytics panel of one of my client sites, and we can see here that they're not a big seller. They sell pretty high dollar value items, and they don't sell a ton of them, but their abandoned cart flow is actually pretty typical, and so I wanted to use it as an example. So what we can see here when we come to analytics and then sales and then abandoned cart, we land on this chart. And we're just looking at the last month of data, just to break out an example. So what we can see here is this is just kind of think of this as a timeline from left to right. And we can see that 16 people added something to the cart. That was the potential revenue of $5,600. And of those, 5 people purchased. So we can see the difference here, 16 to 11. 5 people purchased, so that means 11 people abandoned their cart. The purchases show up in like the sales tab. So right now we're just worried about those people who did not actually complete that checkout. And this was 11 carts with a potential revenue of about $3,200. This number here, the 69%, is actually something that we are looking for because the industry average, and Squarespace even puts it right here for us, for an abandoned cart rate is around 70%. So if you're checking out this analytics panel and you're not sure what number you should be looking at, it's this very first one right in here. And 70% is average. And I would say that you just don't want it to be higher than 80. That would be, I think, really bad territory. If you can get this anything less than 60, I think you're doing really good. So 70 is the average, and that's what you can expect. So just think about, okay, well, in order to get this many people to check out, how many people do I even have to get to add to cart? So that's how you can kind of start thinking about the numbers here. So moving along on our timeline, people abandoned their carts, like we said, and there was the potential recoupable revenue of $3,200. Now, if we move forward, this one is always a little bit confusing because you're like, well, I lost 11 people. How come I can't recover them all? And that's because the process of recovering is based on being able to email somebody. And there are 2 ways that we can potentially capture that email in order to send the out to them. The first is if they are already logged into their account on your site. So you have customer accounts turned on and they logged into their account before they started shopping. This will automatically activity to their account and we'll know if they abandoned their cart. The second is if they made it through to that checkout process, you'll notice that the very first field at the very top of that page is an email address. And so we hope, our intention is that people fill out that first. It's the very first field. And they start maybe doing the rest of the checkout process, filling in their address, selecting a shipping option, etc. And that at that point they bail out, because if they do that, then we again have their email address in order to send something to them. So what we see here is that only 4 of those people who abandoned the cart actually had a recoverable email address entered in that we can follow up with them. And I don't have any good stats on what this number is good or bad, because it's just really going to vary so much. The point here is that there were 4 people that we could potentially recover for, and that for this client specifically, that revenue was about $2,000. So $1,930 specifically. Of those 4 people, we actually emailed 100% of them. So 4 people were emailed, but unfortunately, and none of them were recovered. So in this case, last month, this client lost potentially about $2,000 in revenue because of their number of added carts, and then the ones that were abandoned, and then the ones that we were actually able to recover and then email, none of them were actually back to that cart to complete the purchase. So that's what this graph tells us. And that's how we can start to understand that user flow from the time somebody hits the add to cart button until the time they hit checkout, and what information we need from them in order to be able to remarket to them if they have abandoned that flow. So now that we understand this a little bit more, let's head back to our Pacero shop and see what we can do to customize that abandoned cart email in order to hopefully recover some more sales. Okay, so we're back at our Pacero shop and let's look at the abandoned cart email. As it is, it's probably not very inviting. Let's go and look for it. Customer notifications is where we want to go. First, I did style this previously. So let's first just do a quick review of this panel so you kind of know what's going on. The global email style section is where you can change the content, color, links, buttons, all this stuff that appears in every email. So, making sure you have your social links and maybe a tagline if you have it. This is basically saying, how do you want all of your emails from your shop to look? Because they're all going to follow this template. In the business settings tab, you will out this information so that your site, if you display that, where it will pull from. So making sure you have your customized email address and your business address if that's required legally. Okay, so that's the business basics. The rest of the magic happens in customizing the content. And so you can see there are a bunch of topics, general orders, point of sale, etc., etc. And the one we're looking for here is under customer engagement and then abandoned cart. So as it is right now, the abandoned cart email, if somebody was to add some super yummy, delicious pasta from my Pacero shop to their cart, this is what they would get. It just says your cart is waiting for you. Hi, customer name. We noticed you didn't get a chance to finish your order. For your convenience, we have saved the items you have in your cart. So the goal here is obviously to entice people back to your shop. And this email gets sent automatically 24 hours after somebody has abandoned their cart and not come back to complete a purchase. Because sometimes people abandon carts for other reasons. Maybe they were waiting in line at the post office and doing a little shopping, and right as they got to the checkout, they were at the front of the line and had to complete their buying stamps or whatever they do at the post office. Maybe they had a screaming kid in the background. They had to go and calm them down, and they were waiting to come back until after whatever it is. There are so many reasons that those analytics that we were looking at just can't account for. Some people are going to abandon not because they don't want to purchase, but because life just happened. And that's the nuance that analytics can't tell us about. And that's where these emails are so important, because it's just a gentle, friendly way to say, hey, I noticed something that you thought you wanted to do didn't happen, and I want to make it really easy for you to come back and pick up where you left off. So as it is, this isn't a horrible email. It is pretty standard. Pretty much everything is as out of the gate from Squarespace. Also means that anybody else who doesn't customize this email, who's running a Squarespace shop, their customers are going to get an email that looks exactly like this, like word for word. And for that reason alone, I think you need to come in and change this up. So it's a chance to show off your brand personality and a chance to make people feel excited about buying from you. So what could we do? Let's go in and edit the email, and I'll walk through some of my recommendations for changing up this email to make it a little bit more exciting. So the first thing is the subject line. This is obviously what people are going to see first. And right now it's informative, but not exciting. It just is going to say, Pacero pasta, your cart is waiting. And I feel like I need to read this in a monotone voice because that's how it comes across. Pacero pasta, your cart is waiting. See how boring that is? So what we want to do is instead change it to something like this. You've got your back, cart saved plus special bonus. and made it look a little special. And we've let people know, like, hey, if you come back, there's a little something in it for you. He is already exciting. We've got your back. Cart saved and special bonus. So much better than Passero pasta. We've got your cart saved. So what I would do first. The other thing I would do is the default email preview is blank, and that's just a wasted opportunity. So instead, what we're going to do is say, we've saved your cart for you. Check out to score, and then we can enter whatever offer we'd like. So we could say to score 10% off. You could say to score a free gift with purchase. Whatever makes sense for you, right? I think that I will go to score 10% off. That seems simple, something I can do. Already from the jump, our email looks much more inviting in someone's inbox. They understand that you're are rooting for them, and you've given them a little incentive to come back. Let's move over to the email itself and see if we can jazz this up because, well, I know we can jazz this up. So the current headline is, your cart is waiting for you. And that's how it should be read, because instead we need to say something fun. And this fits the brand personality for my Passero shop, but I might make it say instead, your goodies for you. And this is kind of plays into the food theme I have. I want people to think of the delicious pasta that they'll be able to make if they buy from me. And yes, we're just changing this up. Nobody else is going to have this headline, right? Next, we are going to move down to the paragraph underneath customer name. And you'll notice that this has a little underline. And so what that means is that if they have filled out their name will show up. But if not, we're going to say, hi, fellow foodie. And so now, if they haven't filled out their name in the checkout yet, or we don't have it saved from their customer account, instead of saying like, hi, Susan, it's going to say, hi, fellow foodie. And I might even make it say, hey, fellow foodie. That sounds fun. And let's look at below this. So originally, we noticed that you didn't get a chance to finish your order. For your convenience, we have saved the items you had in your cart. All right, let's delete that. Let's go this way. Call us your cart bodyguards. Not only are we checking your items for being snapped up by someone else, but we've also gone ahead and scored you a special VIP bonus. And so this is where we put our bonus in, and then we're going to give them a little bit of FOMO. People respond well to this, but we can't protect your cart forever. Get your goodies before they're gone. So have made people feel special, and we've made people also feel like if they don't do this soon, this is going to go away. So I am going to say 10% off with discount code foodie. And I might actually bold this. There we go. Oops. There we go. So already this text is different. Nobody else is going to have sent this out. And then immediately we are allowing them to complete their order. So that will go directly to the cart page with what they had added already ready to go. And this area is not editable. This will just automatically be populated by Squarespace. It's going to show the product picture, the name, any variations, and the cost and everything. If they have multiple items, this section just kind of gets duplicated. You can't change this, but that's fine. We just want people to be able to see what they had. And we are not going to leave it there because I think this is nice, but what we want to do is really let people know that they're being supported in their purchase and that we are there to help them. So what I am going to suggest and implement here for Passero is adding a new section. And you can add sections here just like you add a section on a page or in an email blast through Squarespace email campaigns. We're going to add a section here and we are going to give it a better sign off. So we're going to say, chat with our customer care crew. And let's make this question. We're here to help. And I'm just going to format this quickly. Chat with us here. You can email us and give us a call. And we could even have a question before you order. We're here to help. It makes it feel like if there's still some lingering doubt about buying from you, that's okay. We're going to help you. Most people just want to feel connected and supported when they're making a purchase, and they want to know that you're a real human doing business. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is add a little more visual interest to this email. We might have other sales or other things that we want to promote, and we want to also make it just really visually engaging. And so I'm going to take full advantage of the fact that I can add other things to this email. I'm going to add a couple images. The first one is going to be a promo graphic for the Black Friday sale that I'm going to have on Pacero. And here's what that looks like. And we're just going to change the padding on this a little bit. And I'm going to add one more graphic, and here's what that looks like. And I'm going to just tighten up that spacing again. So now, at a glance, here's what our email looks like. We have that really engaging subject line and email preview text. We're going to feel excited to come back to our cart. Have a new intro text to just inject a little bit of brand personality, entice them with a coupon code. It's going to be easy for them to get back to their cart by clicking this button. They can see what they missed out on. We're going to let them feel supported by showing them where they can get in touch with us if they have concerns or questions before placing an order. Then we are going to remind them of the cool things that we have going on in our shop. So we have a Black Friday sale that we're going to be advertising, and a reiteration of those brand values. There's fast shipping, chat support, and free returns. And the rest of it, like we said before, is all styled already for us based in the global email styles. And so there's nothing else that I need to edit. If I was to get this email compared to the first one in the boring voice, I would 1000% check out with this one. I feel like I can connect to this brand, and I'm excited to get my products. So if you have a abandoned cart rate that's outside of that 70% average, if it's higher than 80%, you need to come in and edit this email. And even if you have a pretty good cart abandonment rate, and right now you're sitting somewhere below 60%, it still would not hurt to come in and edit this email. And just remember, this gets sent to people automatically 24 hours after they abandon their cart, only if they've logged into their account or they've put their email address in that first field of the checkout page. They will then get this email, and you can see those abandoned cart rates start to improve. Okay, quick plug for my customer connection kit before we go. If you are looking for more help customizing the stock emails that come out of your Squarespace site, this toolkit will walk you through the customizations for each and every one that I think you should update. I worked to develop this in a collaboration with a professional copywriter who focuses on conversion. So together we crafted the customer connection kit, and I think that this is a really powerful tool if you would like to jazz up those boring emails. So just wanted to show you a quick behind the scenes of what's in this kit, and I will be sure to drop a link and a coupon code below for you. So I do have step-by-step instructions on how to use the kit. I walk into more depth of how to change those global email styles and the business settings. I go through another video of walking through updating another email. So it'll be very similar to this one, but we go a little bit more in depth. And then we get into the email templates. So the one we just worked on in this video was the abandoned cart template. So if you wanted, you could pull that text from this template, but if you get the customer connection kit, you'll also receive copy and paste, easy copy recommendations for the order confirmation template, the order fulfilled email, the email that goes out to request a review, the email that goes out if you have a waitlisted product that becomes available. And then we went even above and beyond. And if you want to do that, you can. And also provide copy for emails such as joining a loyalty program, an email that goes out when delivery updates are sent, when orders arrive, when as a follow-up to order arrival to start to build customer loyalty, and then an email to send as a follow-up to that one with related products that people might like. So that's the customer connection kit at a glance. Customizing the emails is super easy with this tool. Again, you can just copy and paste into your Squarespace, just like I showed you in this video for the abandoned cart email on the Pacero shop. If you'd like to give it a try, check out the link below.